Hi, and welcome to Paper Root Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm continuing to turn this paper pad into pages by using these patterned strips with the hole in the center to create a layout. Alright, so at the beginning of this series, when I first was putting my kits together and tearing down the paper pad, I asked the question, would anybody be interested in seeing how I use these branding strips to make layouts? And so I got some responses that said, yes, you would like to see that. So I'm going to create an entire layout that uses primarily these strips with the hole in the center. And I was inspired to create the layout in this manner because of this sketch from Saturday at 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Now, I did not get much of a chance to scrapbook over the weekend because it was Canadian Thanksgiving, so we had a house full of people all weekend, but nevertheless, here we are. And I think I'm going to kind of stick pretty close to this sketch, but obviously my strips are going to be narrower, right? So I think these look like about 1-inch strips because she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a little bit more than 1 inch even. And these are only 1/2-inch strips, but that's okay. The idea behind the sketch is still going to be here. So what I did was, because I'm going to basically wallpaper this entire page, I just took this sheet of, it's like a packaging, right? So it came with a paper pack that I had ordered, and I just, I'm going to just wallpaper the whole sheet because nobody's going to see the back. It's basically white cardstock. Anyway, didn't want to throw it away, seemed useful. So what I'm going to do first is kind of come up with a plan on what order of colors I want. So for example, I'm not going to want to put 2 of the exact same pattern side by side. I'm not going to want to put 2 navy patterns right next to each other. I'm going to want to break it up a little bit. So in my mind, one of the ways that I always go about doing this is by following rainbow order. Now, I think I jumped ahead a little bit actually. So one of the things I want to take out is, because my layout is going to run, the branding strips are going to run vertical, I'm going to take out the ones that run horizontal. So like these cars would look silly kind of this way. Same with these lights. So I'm going to take those and set them to the side. I also want to say that I do have some strips that are like narrower strips. Some of them are from the full sheets that I'd bought, and some of them are from the cut apart sheets, but I have and some of them are just scraps, but I do have those as backup if I run low on what I want to use. So I'm kind of thinking rainbowish order, so I'm going to sort these into categories first. So these are like pinks and reds, blues, like dark blue. We got some lighter blue or turquoise-ish kind of aqua color. There we go. This is another one that runs horizontally. Here is our bluish green color. Some of these are still stuck together from when they were in the, they have glue on the top still. This is another one that runs horizontal. This one is this. Okay, so this one is kind of multicolored, but I mostly see purple, so I'm going to put that in a purple pile. And this is red and pink. This is purple, but this one technically runs horizontal, but you can't really tell in this small of a pattern. However, this one you can. So I'm going to pull these ones aside as well. The arrow ones are multicolored, but I mostly see white, so they get their own category. Horizontal. There we go. This is okay. This one again. This one's a black and white, so I'm going to put that with that. This is another turquoise kind of color. And then this one's horizontal and a yellow. So let me just So horizontal ones. Now what I want is if I have something that is a bit more yellow, because we don't have much of that. It looks like I used one of the yellows and there's only one here. So do I have anything else that's yellow? No, I do not. But what I do have is this scrap of yellow. That is, so I have this one that I can cut into 2 6-inch or 2 1/2-inch by 6-inch, I think. Maybe this one. Maybe those aren't quite 6 inches. Let's see, what else do I have? I have this if I need to. What is in this? I do still have one of the cut-aparts that was double-sided. Let's see. Oh, it does have a yellow strip, so I could use this one as well if I need it. Okay, so I am going to start by, I'm going to slide these off to the side, and there we go. Switch these ones. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is, if you look on this sketch, and it did come in color and it's better in color, but I printed it in black and white to save some ink. I have, so like for example, this is the other half of this, right? So it's opposite sides. So I'm gonna go with that kind of idea and just snip this in half. Yeah. So this will go here and this will go up here. And then the idea is this little like notch piece that's missing because of the hole in the center is going to be covered up by this band of paper in the center. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going with that kind of idea and just keep it going across the center of the page. And then this one, take one of these. And then a blue one. This one. And then a purple one. And then I think I'm going to continue that sort of pattern along the way and until my whole sheet is covered with branding strips. And I will glue these all down and then I'll pop back in to show you what it looks like before we add that center strip in there. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like once I've got all of the branding strips from the paper pad laid down, and I think it looks a little bit strange right now, but I think once we get that middle strip on there it will all come together. So the middle strip that I chose is one of the, oh, and I wanted to say, like, it put a real dent in my supply of branding strips. Like, I still have quite a few left, but it used up quite a bit. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, maybe give making a background out of it a try. Okay, so I want to use this 3-inch strip of camera paper. I was gonna call it phone. Wow. Okay, camera paper. And what I did was I measured it. It's 3 inches by 12 inches. And so what I did was I took it to the back here and I got my grid ruler. I just got this at Michael's. It's just like a, it was kind of in the, I think in like the drawing or drafting supplies area. And so it has like 1/4 inch grid on it. And I really like it. It's one of my faves. And so when I measured it, it was 3 inches this way. I put it down here and just measured off that from 1 inch and 2 inch mark. And then I laid, because this is like, I think this is 17, 18 inches, I'm able to lay it at a diagonal across my 12 inch page. And just from this corner to the 1 inch mark, and then this corner to the 1 inch mark, I drew some lines. And then I'm going to just cut along those lines with a pair of scissors. If I try to do this in my paper trimmer, because my paper trimmer is only 12 inches, it won't really come out the way I want it to. So I'm just gonna use my scissors. I always marvel at people who use scissors and know lines for their cutting for all things. It just amazes me. I'm not that person. I need a straight edge. Okay, so now we've made this diagonal stripe piece that goes across here. And I did go ahead and ink all the edges of these, which I know is not everybody's jam, but for me it just makes it look like it goes together a little bit. Especially in a collection like this where the colors are so diverse. So I'm just going to ink the edges of this as well. And then once I was finished around the outside edges, I inked around there again too, trimmed off some excess bits. Just gonna line this up. I think I'm gonna start at this end to make sure, because this one's quite a wide gap. This one was cut from a sheet of paper. I kind of ran out of purple strips, and I wanted a purple one there, so I took from a scrap paper. And let's see. Okay, and then all the way across. There we go. So now that that centerpiece is covered up and this is in the middle, doesn't that look like it's supposed to be that way? It's kind of neat, right? Okay, so then in the sketch, the title is on this hexagon shape, but I only have one photo, so I'm going to put my photo where the hexagon is, and then I think I'm going to put my title, which I haven't chosen yet, where the photos go on the sketch. Okay, so that's the photo I have for this layout, and I'm going to pause the camera again because I need to go find a title and type up my journaling and pick out some embellishments. So I will be back. All right, friends, so I finished off my layout. I typed up some journaling and added a date on there, and I just used a scrap of paper from the paper pad scraps to mount my journaling on, and got that on there. For my title, I used the middle set basic gray chipboard letters that I had put in my kit, and I painted them with just some basic dollar store acrylic paint in black, and let them dry. And they don't take long to dry because the chipboard soaks up the paint really fast. The only problem I had was that these had adhesive on the back, and I forgot to take the adhesive sheets off first, like the peel and stick stuff on the back, and so it was pooling behind the letters. So I'll know for next time to take off the sticky first and then paint the letters. So there's a little tip for you. So yeah, chipboard letters, acrylic paint, there we go. And just a quick side note too, if you have something in your stash that you really want to use up, put it in a kit like this where you're like not wanting to get out of your seat. You just want to use what's in the kit beside you. And man, I've been tackling those chipboard letters like it's nobody's business, and I haven't touched them in ages, so it's been good. So that was the title. And then for embellishments, I took these Close to My Heart chipboard resist pieces from Close to My Heart that I painted in similar color, well, not painted, inked in similar colors to what was in the kit, and so I had added them in, and I've got most of them used up. So I'm just going to take these last 5 little ones and pop them out of here and just put them into my, like I have this package of like random assorted things that I'd like to use when I'm tackling this kit as well. And then I'm going to take this piece and stick it in my adhesive drawer because I like to use these chipboard scraps as dimensional adhesive whenever I can, just to save a little bit of money on my crafting budget. And I used some of those acrylic hearts from Close to My Heart that were in my kit as well. In terms of finishing touches, besides the acrylic hearts, I also used these little, I think they're like jewels or gems or something, but they're not quite as sparkly, I guess. They're kind of more matte, and they look a little bit more like enamel dots, but they have dimension to them, like diamond shape. I don't know if you can, probably can't see that. Anyway, they were in this little package that I'd thrown in after using some of it. And so I'm just going to put what's left back in there. And then this little star had fallen out of the package and was just sitting on the page, and I felt like he really wanted to be there, so I added him on. And then I think that's about it for the layout. The journaling is just about how when I saw this bike, I was kind of drawn to it because it's so beautiful. And I didn't really know what it was. And then when I went and looked it up to see what it was all about, it turns out that it was a memorial. Ghost bikes are a thing. They are usually a junk bike painted white and then chained to something nearby a spot where a cyclist had been killed or maybe severely injured, and it's supposed to be a reminder to motorists to slow down and share the road. So yeah, so that's what my journaling is about, and that is my finished layout for it was the day 8 sketch from 30 Days of Sketches from Christy's Beautiful Life. And I think that's about it. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. He's old and I don't have the heart to kick him out anymore. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click that like button to give me a thumbs up. Hit the show more button under the video description if you'd like to find links to the things that we talked about today. And if you have a question or comment, I'd really love to hear from you, so leave it down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. If you would like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. Just click the subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos go up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.